You know what, screw it. We're just going to go one hand with a glove on, one hand without a glove on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I decided to go live in case something happens. I'm also recording with the regular camera, if you will. Let me zoom in here with the regular camera, since that's going to be the better quality. So, listen to the police scanner. Call came out, I believe it was disturbance related, one of these businesses, and then somehow escalated. This man jumping up on the, climbing up and getting on the, was he gonna do it again? Oh, he's pulling a string out of his waistband. Okay. I'm focusing mainly on the other camera, ladies and gentlemen, since that's going to have the better view of quality. But earlier, the call came out in regards to this that he was exposing himself when he got up there before I arrived. Now, it didn't come out originally as a 5150 call, but based on this man's erratic behavior and his decision to climb up onto this structure, and appears to be he's doing some sort of little pants dance, I'm going to go ahead and say he is a potential 5150, not a 392. Oh, he's grabbing the ladder. He's grabbing the ladder. He's grabbing the ladder. He's pushing the ladder. He's fighting. So wow, thank you for the 3 people that are tuning in. You were experiencing it live here in downtown Oroville. We're at this is on Spencer and closest cross to Mitchell. For those who are familiar with the area, this is at the bus right across the street from the bus depot here at Petco. Got 5, 1 like. Evening 420 RU2, you tuned into a good live stream. We've got a 5150 subject, and he was just fighting with the ladder. He appears to have picked up something. He's got like a string that he appears to be wrapping around himself. Thank you, nurse. For those, I'm sort of glancing at the chat here, so if I don't get to all of you, please forgive me. I'm pretty much focused on the situation. We have more sirens coming. You still know I gave... Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yes, I remember that. No, I live up in Oroville now, in Butte County. Hello, Oscar Flores. Hello, Frederick. Oh, yeah, it's pretty cold out here. I can see the breath. Yeah, I hope he doesn't jump, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want him to jump. Mainly, I'm not so much worried about him jumping, more so about the police killing him. I'm not sure what building this is he's on. And it was interesting, ladies and gentlemen, over the scanner as I was arriving, there was a call for an overdose at the Walmart, and the person goes over the scanner, tell the medics to handle it, we're busy. And then there was a call for a break into a vehicle, and the guy goes, unless it's life or death, you know, I don't want to hear about it. All right, I'm going to try and get closer, ladies and gentlemen. We're good. good. We're good. No, we're good. We're good. No, no, thank you. No, thank you. Then put up the tape and I'll move back. Well, that's not my concern. I don't do favors.
Okay. So listen.
I don't need to listen to you right now. This is 148G protected.
Okay.
There's a fence between you two,
When we're done with this, right?
and we'll deal with that. Right now, focus on your suspect. And the reason I say suspect, ladies and gentlemen, because the call came out as a disturbance at one of these businesses. Oroville, the big Mexican. I'm not sure. And the reason why I moved is I wanted to get closer, ladies and gentlemen, to hear what the gentleman was saying. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, there's no tape. Yeah, now he's going to come and put some tape up. He's going to put some tape up. But as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, so alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, just be on standby to start dialing Oroville Police Department, just in case. So we're going to see what's going to happen. I'm narrating right now.
I understand, but you're on private property. I'm going to have to ask you.
Well, looks right now I'm on the side of the public street here.
On a property.
So we're good. We're good. This is public street.
You're making this worse, bud. Please.
I didn't confront you, sir. You came up to me.
Because you're on private property.
Well, right now I'm on the public street. So we're good. We're good. And it's de minimis issue. And it was only a concern about private property until I came closer. I've been recording for 12 minutes now, and now it became an issue.
Because you're interfering, they're trying to talk this guy down, but I'm just asking.
Hey, did you see me talking to the gentleman?
Him seeing you out here is only making the situation.
Well, what about all the people over there? What about that guy filming? What about the black guy filming? You gonna tell the black guy to not film too, and he's distracting? Are you gonna tell all these people that their presence is distracting? Come on, man. Just go back on your private property, man.
Private property.
Then stay on there. I would suggest you stay on there.
What are you gonna do?
And for the record, ladies and gentlemen, I thought this was an officer approaching me. It was this security for, I guess, this building that this gentleman is on. But I must say, I will give him this. He has the initiative to at least be on this side in case the person makes I guess, a break for it. But that would be very unfortunate if they did, ladies and gentlemen, because that distance, you're going to be injured. I would not suggest jumping off a roof from that height. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, too, that, hey, time to stand. Hey, rewatch the live stream. You just missed the good confrontation. But as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, over there, there's about a couple firemen and 3 police officials, and I can't see how many are over on that side because, like the security person said, that's private property over there, and, you know, can't get on their private property. But I'm gonna step over here to the bus stop area. Oh, he's right there, time and stand. He's right there.
20
So if he does potentially jump off or fall off, either one could happen at this angle. Now I have the shot. But now notice, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as I crossed the street, he starts walking away. That just proves it right there, ladies and gentlemen, that he does not care about this man. He does not care to stop him. He does not care if he jumps. He's only concerned was protecting the de minimis issue of private property, of me standing right there on that. I'm gonna zoom in on the live stream. That little gray easement, ladies and gentlemen. So as you can see, as soon as he left. As soon as I crossed the street, he left. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That just proves that they don't care. They don't care about him. Well, I should say the security. They didn't care about him because as soon as I walked off, he left. And now the police are going to come over on this side. It took them long enough. I mean, come on. I mean, I was there, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, for 12 minutes filming. And the sooner I decided to inch a little bit closer, everybody starts freaking out. Oh my God, you gotta back up, you gotta back up. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, just in case, keep Oroville Police Department's phone number, look that up on standby. Normally I should know it off by hand, but I haven't written down in a while. But now they're deciding to block off the streets. They said, you know, about the PC 409.5. PC. All right, hook me up. This is, and I'm saying this is protected under Penal Code 409.5, as this is a calamity. Yes, I can. Penal Code 409.5. This is a scene of an accident, a calamity. And you want me to go all the way down there. All the way down there because you don't want me to film. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, get that number ready. I might be going to the Butte County Jail tonight. Because they want to block close down the entire bus department. Exactly. I'm fine where I'm at. And if I'm going to go, then these other two gentlemen need to go. They have the right to be here just as much as I am. See, no one has harassed the gentleman with the cell phone, but because I'm with the cameras. And I think the reality here, ladies and gentlemen, is that they don't want me to document the potential mismanagement of this scene, because if this was such a concern, then this area should have been blocked off when I arrived. The area should have been more secured, and it wasn't. And that is not my problem. You should secure your scene better. I'm sorry that yeah, now everybody's being forced on the other side of the tape. So as you can hear, ladies and gentlemen, they said on the other side of the tape. See? See? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna walk. So now, what about this guy? He's gonna. I hope he can get out the other way. But you can't go. You can't go. See,
You don't leave your car back here so people don't run through the state.
Yeah, you forgot. Yeah, you forgot to leave your car back here. Well, actually, this is private property. Well, okay. Well, let's see. Let's see what'll happen. Technically, I'm on the private property.
Gentleman in yellow goes on the other side of the tape.
So
So
this is private property. Good. We're on the private property now. Yeah, but I'm on the private property. This area, this section's not taped off. Now, you've closed off the street, but now I'm on the private property. So if you want to solicit a trespass from Raisley, I'm fine. I don't need to listen to you, Con. So if you're going to do what you got to do, do it. Okay, then yeah, put your tape up. So if I don't cross it, then we're good. So go ahead and close off this parking lot and whatnot so people can't get in here and whatnot. But if you're going to shut down the whole thing, you're going to need to tape off all the way back there because people can still drive through here. Gentleman just left with his truck, so I don't want to wait over there. I want to wait right here. Okay. Why though?
Because we don't want people out here.
Well, why was this a concern only when I started filming, getting closer so I could hear what the gentleman was saying? No, it wasn't like that the whole time.
I haven't even talked to you yet. So.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't have to be talking to me because this is really ridiculous. I was fine where I was. I wasn't interfering. You guys are actually interfering in my investigation. And
Controlled area.
because I was peacefully standing there narrating until the bald-headed one came over and started getting mouthy. And I told him no thank you because he wasn't giving me a lawful order. He was giving me a request. I don't want to wait outside the tape. What happens if I don't wait outside the tape?
Why are you pushing buttons?
I just want to make sure. I want it on record what's going to happen if I don't wait outside the tape so there's no confusion.
You're part of the press, right? You know the rules.
Yeah, I know the rules, and according to Penal Code 409.5, I should be able to be in here because this is a calamity.
I'm not sure what that means.
Well, then exactly.
Okay.
So
But
then you need to look up
Here
409.5.
and there, and you're gonna have to move out, okay?
Okay, and I'm sure this guy's going to come complain that this is private property if he's claiming this private property ownership.
Is it private property? This is, yes.
Okay, and you do this one on this one too?
Yes, sir.
All right, you manage both properties then. All right, perfect. Just making sure that. Okay, then perfect.
And you're on private property again, sir.
Okay, just making sure that because I was not entirely sure if you were just specifically serving that building's security needs over there. Okay, perfect. I'm not talking to you. I was just confirming with security, and security's confirmed, so now we're done. So then that's fine. But you didn't need to interrupt us and over talking because this gentleman was trying to be professional and correct the situation. Thank you. But we have it documented, ladies and gentlemen, that the other people were on private property, and that was not a concern until I showed up with the camera. So we'll go on to the other side of the tape here, which isn't going to make a damn difference. So we're here on the other side of the tape. No, 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 no! Yeah, I got on Velo. Don't. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, does this guy in the truck know this is private? He can be here? Okay, okay, good. Not trying to bust your balls, just making sure it's done fairly. You know? Because if I got to be trespassed too, I mean, with all due respect. And good. Now we got cars coming up here. Good. We're good. Good. Turn the radio back up now, ladies and gentlemen. See, and you heard that, ladies and gentlemen, how he brung up, well, you're a member of the press with the rules. Well, yeah, well then we should be allowed in here because Penal Code 409.5. And to his credit, he admitted he did not know that. So I did not push him on that issue further, even though probably more than you wanted you. But give respect to Officer Khan. He's not, I mean, he's a bit of a pain, but not the worst. I mean, I dealt with sheriff's deputies worse than Khan. And in all fairness, probably he was telling me the truth for once, a cop that didn't lie. Because most officers don't know the penal code as well as I do. They don't know the vehicle code as well as I do. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, law enforcement is the only job in America where a citizen can know more about the policies and procedures than the actual employee. And thank you for all of you that have tuned in. 18 people I saw, 7 likes. And as you can, I don't know if you can see, ladies and gentlemen, but the gentleman is still down there. Yeah, exactly, and you can get a murder. So thank you, 420 RU2. Looks like we don't need to, but just in case. He isn't gonna. And they taped off the road for cars, but I mean, it's still open. And to the credit, you know, I mean, the security guard was a bit of a dick at first, but I mean, hey, that's his job, you know. He's not there to, you know, give me a, you know, a tuggy under the table, as it's been called, if you will. He's there to protect the property, you know, and that's unfortunately. Okay, we got a 916 number calling. Let me see. This is, so may it go off here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you know, yeah, I get it. You know, screw, you know. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but I've told people before, I will get a phone call. That stream is going to end. Just give me a few seconds, okay? And for those that did stay, thank you for staying. But, you know, for those who did stay, that was the city attorney. That was the city attorney of Oroville just called me directly, you know, in regards to this scene. You know, they're speaking to somebody about this police tape, but just, you know, and asked to, you know, just back off and, you know, because he's threatening to jump. And so, like I told him, we're behind the line. The tape's already put up, so the issue is sorted out. My main thing is, if this was such a dangerous situation, then I should have been there for 12 minutes filming before this all of a sudden became an issue. People saw me. People looked at me. They didn't question. They didn't say anything until the bald officer. I haven't seen. To my recollection, I have not seen that officer. I do not know his name offhand, so I can only describe him as what I've seen him as tonight. The bald officer with the vest on. So only until he said something, because I got closer, because I wanted to hear what he was saying, did it become a problem. But my main thing is, then this needed. Oh, there goes somebody's vehicle I do know of. But my main thing is, if this was an issue, then this needed to be closed off right as I was arrived. Should have been closed off as soon as the fire trucks were called. But as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, those who've stayed with me and have tuned into the live stream here, you can see that the camera is mightier than a gun, sword, or anything, because only a camera can close down a street. It wasn't the suicidal man, ladies and gentlemen. I should have told the city attorney to F off time to stand. You have an opinion that, but I mean, that attorney has been decent with me, so I want to keep a good rapport with him. And from what he communicated to me, there's somebody looking into this police tape issue. So you know, I mean, I mean, if he might be watching right now, so I mean, you can see where I am. So I mean, like, you know, I'm going back and forth. So I mean, this is the minimus issue right here. But really, the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, I should be fine right where I was before. And we have it live. We have it documented. I have talked about the man, but I've not directly spoken to him in any way, saying to him, don't jump, to jump, it's not worth it, anything like that. I've been narrating and talking about his actions. He most likely heard me yelling at the officers, and I know I heard him yelling something to me. I wasn't paying attention to him because my ears were not tuned in, focusing on his chatter at the time. It was the man with the gun that has a badge and could potentially take my freedoms away over my exercising of rights. And now we have and those for watching, I wish I could end my live stream, but I'm kind of on a scene, if you will. But Smoke and Scan, the Smoke and Scan police channel, I just got a notification that they went live with a police chase in Orange County. So I know a lot of my followers in are in Orange County. So just a little heads up there. But yeah, we're gonna probably be on scene for a little while here. But I find it interesting, ladies and gentlemen, that they dialed the city attorney. You know, I mean, which is good. I mean, they should be asking the attorneys for legal advice. I mean, that's what the city attorney in theory gets paid to do. Let me set my camera here to the side, ladies and gentlemen, and put my other glove on because my hand is starting to get really cold. The camera's gonna stay up here. Well, I'm just gonna have to set it down on the ground real quick. I hope I didn't drop my glove over there on private property. And two, ladies and gentlemen, over there by the Rayleighs there, you know, while I was filming before, you know, before I was confronted, there was a black gentleman, maybe possibly Hispanic when I walked past him. I know he was a bit of a darker color. Oh no, these are just, I guess, people in a Crown Vic. Some people thought that might have been law enforcement, but just some people in a Crown Vic. Maybe, you know, like I said, a black gentleman, possibly Hispanic. I know he's a bit darker skinned than the other gentleman that was next to him, a white gentleman. Those two were right standing in that area where the in and out arrows are, and the darker skinned gentleman, he had his phone out and wasn't harassed. The white guy was standing around there, he wasn't harassed. And at one point I saw somebody with a blue hoodie standing over there in the private property area, and he wasn't harassed. But you know, I was filming over there, and of course, you got to leave this private property, and you know, it's just kind of ridiculous that, like I told the city attorney, ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of sad that the security guard's interests appear to be more so in protecting private property than he is a potential suicide jumper. Now, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying earlier, that's what the security guard's job is. He's not there to be your friend. He's not there to give you a tuggy under the table. He's there to take orders and get paid to enforce them, or lose his job. Now, the difference between him and the cop is not really much. I mean, police are told to take orders and do their job, and if they don't, they lose them. You know, they lose their job. But the difference between the security guard and the police officer is, one is hired by a private corporation funded by private individuals' money. The other is funded by taxpayer dollars. And, you know, well, I mean, you can figure out the rest. Yeah, I mean, you know, right, you know, this whole drainage, you know, right there, that's, okay, you know, your little parking spot's fine, but the drainage right where I was standing, you know, the de minimis issue, ladies and gentlemen, was me being, you know, here's me standing, here's the de minimis issue. Okay, I'm on private property, being an inch over the line. That's the concern. That is the most devious of all acts, being on private property. You know, there was, you know, the world just stopped turning on its axis because I was on private property. Good night, time to stand. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you at the next one, I guess. The next live stream, I should say. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can only own so much. up to the road. Okay? And like I said, there's a wrought iron fence. You know, I'm not going to stop this gentleman. I'm not going to intervene. I'm here to document it. And I was peacefully narrating until, you know, I was confronted. But back to I was saying the private, you know, the security guard. You know, the interest of private property. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be, you know, he could have been nicer, you know, because the reason, the issue I had is like he was asking when, you know, he was trying to give me an order. You know, when you're giving me an order, don't ask. Straight up say, you have to leave. I'm giving you an order, not, can you please, or can you do me a favor? You know, then that's asking. That's not, you know, something that I see lots of officers and other public servants have a very hard time is distinguishing between an order and a request. And it's not that difficult to do. But, you know, when you try and beat around the bush with me, oh, the cat, there's a cat, there's a cat. The cat is on private property. The cat is trespassing. The cat is trespassing. I don't know if you saw, ladies and gentlemen, but there was a white cat, and it just ran on the private property. The cat is trespassing. But anyways, you know, when he was there to beat around the bush, when he was there, when his objectives was to get rid of me, well then don't beat around the bush. Just be a man about it. I'd give you more respect if you'd be a man about it and say, look it, I'm here to tell you, you have to leave. This is private property. You know, don't try and beat around the bush about it. Be a man and, you know, at least you get some more respect that way. And, you know, in his concern, you know, and, oh, there's a, you know, it seems to me is more concerned, like I said, it's concerned that I was on private property and not that the man was going to jump. Because, you know, from what I've seen, ladies and gentlemen, the security guard, he's just been off walking around in the distance, you know, watching the whole thing. I mean, the police are taking over the situation, but I mean, it seems like now he's kind of on break. You know, I actually had to make him do. But the only credit I'm going to give the security guard tonight is that when I told him, asked him if he was going to enforce the guy parked, you know, on the private property over here, he did. And when he explained to me that he also does security for this building and the Rayleigh's parking lot over there, because it could be assumed that he was only doing security exclusively for this building. But then he clarified, and then that's all we needed to do. But Officer Khan, he wanted to be rude and interject and, you know, be like, well, you know, because I'm talking, you know, well, no, your authority is only granted if they want to, you know, pursue. You know, I mean, if you get what I'm saying by that, I mean, and what I mean by that is, okay, if they want me trespass, then yeah, now you have authority to arrest me to trespass, but you can't just arrest somebody that haven't been trespassed. You know, I trespassed from that property, okay, come back, then that's how it works. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, reasonably not believe that these two were managed by the same security, and then he told me to leave that different property, because even though they may be managed by the same security, I find the odds to be slim that the two people that own these buildings, are one and the same, I should say. If that makes any sense. And then there, you know, the issue got sorted out. But, you know, there has to be a trespass before you can, you know, usually the security people trespass the person, then call the police, not remove the person themselves. Even though there's some security companies out there, ladies and gentlemen, that do that to people, that will physically remove them from private property without police. Oh, where does it say private property for the parking? Well, I know there is a sign point over there. See it on that light pole right there where my pole is sort of pointing to the center of. There's a private parking sign over there, and let me look across the street here. I swore I saw a sign over here for the in relation to the parking, but I mean it's you know right there, ladies and gentlemen, Rayleigh's. So it's a private business. So they regardless if they have that sign are up or not, they still reserve that right to trespass. No, I meant the parking on the side of the street. Oh, the side of the street. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this street, from my understanding... Oh, he's still fighting with the ladder. Still fighting with the ladder. Let's see if I can zoom in on that for you, ladies and gentlemen. Dang, it sucks. Because the live stream camera, you zoom in, it gets more blurry. But you can see, ladies and gentlemen, he's fighting with the ladder. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, earlier, just standing there peacefully narrating, that wasn't an issue until I decided to move a little bit closer. I got, if you can see those tail lights over there, the police car that's parked over there, just within distance of that, I didn't need to get any closer of that. But I wanted to hear what the gentleman was saying. Even though he may be having a mental breakdown or is a suspect in relation to creating a disturbance at one of these business, because Penal Code 15, disturbing the peace, is a crime in California. That's why, I said suspect, because you can be suspect and be 5150. Not saying that that's degrading, I guess the officer was upset that I called him a suspect, but I mean, if the call came out originally that you were causing a disturbance, well, you're suspected of allegedly committing a disturbance. Doesn't mean the call makes you guilty. That doesn't mean the call makes you guilty of committing a disturbance, just that there was an alleged report that you caused a disturbance. Doesn't prove anything. Anybody can pick up a phone and say something. That doesn't prove anything. But in the sense that, okay, if you're the only person, that's fitting the description of this person that is suspected of causing this disturbance, well, then I don't know what else to call you. Maybe then look-alike. And then it turned into, it appears, a mental issue, which was going to probably result in this man being 5150, pursuant to the California, I think it's Welfare and Institutions Code, if I remember correctly. But basically that means he's going to be locked up for 3 days under a psych evaluation. And so I think really at this point, ladies and gentlemen, whatever alleged disturbance that he might have committed, yelling in a store or whatever it was, is really de minimis at this point now compared to the situation that has unfolded. And for all we know, this gentleman may not have been in his right mind when he created the alleged disturbance, so he could be, as I was watching Law and Order the other day, which does not represent, in my opinion, true law enforcement entirely and accurately, but I mean, there are strange cases out there, and I mean, I'm not going to go into details about the Law and Order case, but basically the person was found innocent of their actions due to reason of insanity. So, I mean, the de minimis, whatever, I mean, for all I know, ladies and gentlemen, he could have gone in and knocked over 520, display stands, or he could have just yelled and somebody said, hey, there's somebody yelling in the store. But whatever the alleged, disturbance, which originally the call came out for, seems to be pretty de minimis now compared to him climbing up on this, appears to be this area where he's up at is an area where trucks back in to unload the word I'm looking for, freight dock, and he's on I guess the port above it that protects it from rain and whatnot, and he's been up there for Well, I've been live streaming now for 40 minutes, and it was about 10 minutes before I got here, so he's been up there for about 50 minutes. At one point, allegedly, the remark over the radio that he was exposing himself, whether that means taking his shirt off or taking his pants off and showing us what's underneath, I do not know, because technically you can take your shirt off and expose yourself. Let's see. Looks like they're bringing the ladder down again. And thank you for the 4 people remaining. We've been going for quite a while now. Yeah, that's one thing is you know, in a sense that, you know, I don't want him to do that, because that's gonna completely destroy the video, because you can't show nudity on YouTube and I'm gonna have to edit that out. But on the other hand, I'm like, well, I mean, let's spice things up a little bit. I mean, I've seen, the mentalness of people, ladies and gentlemen, is unpredictable, but I can say on record, I believe this is the first call I've been to where someone has intentionally exposed themselves. Now, I've been to a call before previously where a person was found where they were walking around naked. I don't necessarily consider that an intentional exposure. I consider that, you know, being a naked man, or maybe the gentleman was expressing his belief to be a nudist, but I know they took him away in the stretcher. But I don't really consider that, you know, in the sense that I'm thinking of exposure as, you know, pulling out your, let's see, a YouTube-friendly word, let's see, oh, okay, I got it. Opening up your cornucopia and showing us your eggplant in your hand, in the sense of exposure, more so as, you know, just walking around naked. But normally those types of calls fall under, I think it's the 309 or the 319. Yeah, exactly, 420 RU2, opening your trench coat with nothing on. That's what I'm thinking when I hear exposing. But exposing yourself could also mean just walking around with no clothes on. But in the sense, the media sense that we're all conditioned to, if you will, when we hear someone exposing themselves, we hear things like 420 RU2 said, opening your trench coat and showing yourself with no clothes on. And on a side note, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to watch a funny video that's been on YouTube for, I'd say at least 5 years now, probably, there's a channel out there called Roman Atwood. I forget the exact name of the title of how he titled the prank, but basically he did what exactly 420 RU2 said. He got a bathrobe, he put it on, and instead of being naked underneath, he had t-shirts on with encouraging messages like "Don't do drugs, stay in school." And he went to a park, and he would walk up to the kids, right? He did, I think, like, there's like 3 or 4 or 5 kids that he did it to in the video, and with their parents, you know, in the background. It could be staged for all I know. You know, it's hard, you know, some of these pranks nowadays have quote-unquote actors in them and try and pass them off as, you know, real genuine reactions. But he would go up and he would open and he'd start dancing, and the parents, because they would see the backside, only the robe, they'd think, you know, he's exposing himself. And then the parent comes over and he tackles him, and he goes, no, it's, you know, and then he sees it, and then they all start laughing, because you're expecting, you know, the negative, and then you see the surprise. It's, you know, don't do drugs or stay in school, kids, you know, the complete opposite. So a little humor to look up after this, ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested. I mean, I am still focused, ladies and gentlemen, on our subject here, but I mean, he could for another 3 hours, so I got to keep the conversation, rolling somehow. Talking to you guys, tuning in, all 7 of you right now. Thank you. I've appeared as other members of a girlfriend doing that. See, and then on a side note, it's okay for a woman to do that, but it's not okay for a man. I believe in let's see. Yeah, I'm still active, Anthony. I may not upload as much, but trying to fix that. I was hoping to relaunch in 2020, then coronavirus hit and kind of screwed up my plans on that. So hopefully 2021 is going to be the year. Yeah. Team. And speaking of video uploads, ladies and gentlemen, I kind of think of my stuff as a bit of a fine wine, if you will. It may be aged, but it sure is good. I mean, for one example, for those who know the Arctic, the Anaheim Regional Consultation Transport Center, something like that, stands for, back a couple years back. Okay, I'm the only one that I know of that paid $10 and got the CD with all the security cam footage, and that's going to be at least a 40-minute to an hour-long video, and the majority of the work in that video is going to be me taking audio from our cameras and syncing it up to the security camera audio when I cut back and forth between the cameras being held by, News Now Houston, Time to Stand, me, and Silent Citizen that were there the first night, and, cutting back and forth between the different security angles, and I want the audio synced up to that, and that's a lot of work. But it's going to be a great video, and primarily now, too, another thing, I got to reach out to some people, because some of their videos, like California Guardian's channel, which is, from my understanding, gone, he had a lot of footage from the second day, and some of these other channels, so hopefully I'm going to reach out to these people and they can give me their copies, but if not, I'll make do with what I have. No, I've moved up to Butte County, which is about 65 miles north of Sacramento. Butte County, California, I am in. Yes. I left Orange County right at the end of 2018 because it was financially too expensive to live there anymore. So what this gentleman's been doing while I've been talking so far, ladies and gentlemen, he's just been walking back and forth, laying down, and then getting back up. And man, my arm is getting tired from holding this phone. Gotta switch hands here. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there might be a little bit of my light in the way, but got it pressed up again, so hopefully that'll be less stressful on my arm. And those are just a reminder for those who are, yeah, the ladder is gone. I don't know what their next attempt is, if they're just going to wait 4 hours. You know, ladies and gentlemen, this is why normally I don't go to these types of calls, because primarily is these could be hours long before somebody comes down. I mean, just, I think it was 2019 last year. No, I should say 2 years ago now, because now we're in 2021. Gotta stop thinking 2019 was the last year. It's now 2020 is the last year. But it was sometime in 2019, there was I remember there was a jumper on one of the bridges down in Sacramento area, Stockton I think it was. And he was up there for, I think it was six or 7 hours before he came down. So this guy could be here for 6 or 7 hours, ladies and gentlemen, and my battery will definitely die well before that. But hopefully there'll be a peaceful resolution for this. You know, I don't want to see the gentleman jump. I mean, it is not the most highest of heights that you could jump from. But I mean, it's still definitely a height in which you can harm yourself by breaking a leg. And, you know, you could probably kill yourself from that height by falling or jumping. You'd probably break your neck and sever that bone and be done. You know, and I honestly don't want to see that, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this man, you know, comes down peacefully and, you know, calms down and comes down, and you know, they don't beat the 11 crap out of him. But primarily that's my concern, is and he's yelling something now, ladies and gentlemen, but I can't really understand what he's saying, because he's you know, too far away from me, and now we're all the way down here because we had to move because of the police tape, which should have been up well before I got here if this was such a major concern. But as you all witnessed, ladies and gentlemen, on this live stream, it was only a concern when I decided to get closer so we could understand what the gentleman was saying. Because, in all fairness, ladies and gentlemen, I want to accurately say what I heard this gentleman say. I don't want to start saying I heard him say fuck, shit, you know, words that he didn't say. And two, when you say someone's talking incoherently, well, what do you mean by talking incoherently? And some people don't realize that, well, we mean by talking incoherently is that he's saying, I want to hang out with XJ Skiproid on Monday, Tuesday, you know, something like that. But the majority of the things I've heard from this gentleman are yells, and the one thing I know I heard distinctly and clearly was, I do not want to go to jail. I know I did hear that. But, now they're trying to talk him down. And wasn't interfering with that. Completely narrating to myself. I mean, I was talking about the gentleman, but I wasn't talking directly to him or giving him any sort of commands or anything. But when I decided to move closer to about where that police car was to understand him, because I was about maybe somewhere between, you know, that, if you can see that, I'll put my finger up right there. If you can see that sign right there where my finger is about, you know, pointing to right there on the camera, that sign right there that my finger is now uncovered. Between that sign and the taillights of that police car, I mean, if I could zoom in, well, maybe I can zoom in a little bit better to give you an idea. Here, there we go. It's between, I would say I was about right there. To walk a little bit towards where that police car is now. Oh, sorry, Anthony, Oroville. Thank you, 420R2 for answering that for him. I decided to move a little bit closer so I could hear what he was saying, and then that's when all hell broke loose. And I don't know if you heard, ladies and gentlemen, but that one officer, the bald one with the goatee and the vest, I don't know if you heard him, but he said, "Mr. Cameraman, we'll deal with you. Come over and deal with you." But he was real pissed that I was not following his asks. And he said it too. Do me a favor. I told him I don't do favors. Yeah, how about you do me a favor and stop giving me a hard time? How about you do me a favor and leave me the hell alone? Because I'm not gonna do you a favor and shut my camera off. And the issue is they're gonna say, "Oh, you can film all you want. We don't need you. You just gotta back up." Okay, well, what's the problem? Well, why is it that was not an issue? And like I told, there's a wrought iron fence in between us. And I think reality, ladies and gentlemen, the reality is that I probably came and I documented that their scene was not the best because I guess, and two, ladies and gentlemen, notice how, let me zoom in on the live stream camera. Also document this on the handy camera. So I sort of stopped with that because we've mostly been documenting on the live stream and pretty much things have calmed down somewhat now. But if you can see, ladies and gentlemen, where that light is right there, that is an officer standing there. There's an officer standing there. I'm assuming now they have someone there to try and apprehend him. If he tries to, I guess miraculously, if he's uninjured and tries to run, I guess they're there to stop them. But for 12 minutes of me recording there, and even before I arrived on and got out and started recording, there was no officer there. But only after my presence was no longer acceptable, only then do we decide to put an officer over there. So it really makes me question if they really, what their true intention was on how they were going to secure this scene in the beginning. Because it seems like to me, ladies and gentlemen, they had no intention of closing off this road. They had no intention of really locking down this scene and putting up tape all over the place. And Khan said he was going to put up tape over here, but as you can see, there's no tape over here on the Rileys, so people can still go in that aren't trespassed or been told that this is private property like I have. Which I already knew is private property, but the issue is that you're telling me to leave property. That's what I want to hear, not that, it's already, we know it's private property. It's, Raley's isn't, from my understanding, taxpayer-paid business. I mean, people that pay taxes probably go in there and contribute to the business, but in the sense where we don't pay taxes to pay their employees. But for all I know, they probably got another government bailout check, like for example, Scientology. They got millions of dollars in bailout money, while ordinary citizens, we get a $600 check. But corporations like Scientology got I think it was a couple $1 million they got. So but that's right, I was saying the tape. And I think too the reason why Khan didn't put up tape, Officer Khan, is, well, you can't shut down the business. I mean, what if this appears to be another loading dock area for the Rileys? What if a truck comes in? You're gonna, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it's just more circumstantial evidence that proves my point that this tape closure was not to protect this gentleman. It was not to prevent cars from going in and out. It wasn't, really any purpose to the situation at hand other than to get rid of me from being able to hear what the gentleman had to say and be close to where the incident was taking place. Because I'm assuming they don't want themselves documented as well, because what if I document something that they're saying to him, and that comes out later is something that they shouldn't have said to him, and I have a record of it, but they want to control the narrative, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I got the exactly onus news treatment. I got the onus news treatment. When you're treated like him, you know you definitely stumbled into some stuff. And if he's watching, by the way, Onus News, shout out to you. You are awesome. You do a lot of work down there in LA. You and Tom Zebra. Okay, he's tapping. But yeah, you are one of the, Honest News, you're one of the people that also inspired me to continue to further my career in First Amendment activism, and he's a really good channel, so I definitely encourage you all to subscribe to him. He posts some good content, and I know I got a notification he put up a video earlier, so, or somebody did. Let me see. It was honor your oath. Honor your oath. That's definitely what I'm gonna watch when I get done here. And wow, ladies and gentlemen, I've been going for an hour now, and now we're down to 23% battery, so I'm hoping this gentleman will come down and appears to be dancing now up there. And see too, ladies and gentlemen, I was able to give you a good picture being up close on the live stream, but because the live stream is on my phone and I zoom in, you know, the picture just goes absolutely horrible quality. So it kind of sucks on your part, is now that we're further away, you guys have less of a better picture compared to this handy cam which I have, which has 60 times clear zoom image on it. So right now I can zoom, you know, they took the light off of him so he's harder to see, but I don't know how well you can see my display screen on the live stream, but I can zoom in on him a lot clearer and a lot better than this camera on this cell phone can. And oh, they're putting some light back on him. He's laying down. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I think I'm going to probably do is, once this battery gets, oops, I almost dropped the phone there. Once this battery gets down to 15%, I get a little notification warning for that. I'm probably going to kill the live stream and come back if something, you know, something major happens, or when the scene is over with, if you will, and I will give you a conclusion as to what happened. But for all I know, ladies and gentlemen, I might be here until 3 o'clock in the morning, because that's unfortunately the nature of the beast. Some of these calls could be, you know, 5-10 minutes. Others could be 5 to 6 hours. But I'm not sure what the action plan is of the... Okay. He's now sitting down and doing something. He's in a... I don't know if you can see that, ladies and gentlemen, on the camera there, but he's then they turn the light off. Yeah, probably. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's somebody from the police department, or, you know, somebody watching my feed. You know, keep an eye on that pesky cameraman. You never know what he's gonna do. So yeah, he's just pretty much been up there, just walking back and forth, doing a little dance here and there. And we're just waiting to see what's going to happen. If he's going to come down, if he's going to fall, if he's going to intentionally jump. I do not know what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. But one thing is, I know at one point he was yelling, directed, I believe, towards me, but I wasn't paying attention because my focus was on my conversation with the police, but he didn't care. That's another thing. Thinking back on it, ladies and gentlemen, you know, just, you know, about 30 minutes ago when that encounter happened, you know, he didn't bother to say anything about me until the police started yelling at me. But then the guy started yelling, I think, and then that begs the question, ladies and gentlemen, was the guy yelling at me because he was upset because of the situation he's having, or was he yelling at me in a sense that, hey, you're taking the police away from me, in a sense of jealousy? He was jealous that they were focusing on me and not him, because that could be a possibility, ladies and gentlemen, because mental illness, it's highly unpredictable. So it could be a variety of reasons. But one theory that has come to my mind here, if you will, is there's the fire department, right? Maybe I'm just a little bit too old school in thinking, but, you know, what happened to the old-fashioned nets? You know, people jumping out of burning buildings that are on fire, and they have the big giant net to catch people. So what if they, you know, just get a group of people with a net on standby in case he falls? You know, they can catch him, and somebody go up there and try to potentially apprehend him. And I know that's dangerous, because then they could get into a struggle and they both fall. But in theory, that's what the net would be for. And now there's a van pulling in over there, and a couple other vehicles. I wonder if that's news. If they got an antenna. If that's news, I'm gonna warn them real quick that that they're gonna get harassed. Hey, you guys press too?
What's the scoop?
Oh, Mr. O'Reilly. Oh, you're probably gonna move because the security guard's gonna get on you for parking. He's already been on me about the private property issue. So I'm.
What's going on over here?
Apparently, from my understanding, the original call came out that this gentleman was causing a disturbance. I didn't pay too much of it when I heard it, but then they pursued him, and I don't know how he got up there exactly, but I heard that he climbed up on the bus. I thought he was up on the bus thing when it came out, but then when I got here, he was up over there.
Okay.
So.
Awesome. Hey, what was not this last council yesterday meeting, but the council meeting before? What do you remember? What your comments were during that?
Oh yeah, I sent you an email at I think it was NorCal News, that email address.
I haven't checked it.
No problem.
What was your comments?
It was in regards to the hit and run put on Facebook by Wild. The last name is Stephanie Wild, I want to say it was.
Okay.
And my complaints that I have filed with the police department. And
that was one of your particular comments I was going to talk to you about, because we had something in common of interest on that comment. Yeah. I'm going to have to go back and see what you said.
Here, let me turn this live stream off real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and kill it now. The battery's getting kind of low, and I'm going to have a private off-camera discussion here with another activist in town, and if something happens, I'll come back, but definitely with the outcome of the situation, I will post what happens. So thank you all for tuning in. I will talk to you later.